Hey, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, drop a like on my video, and share it on social media. Also, I have found out that YouTube's algorithm punishes creators that get short watch times on their videos. So if you can, please stick around to the very end. If you're a person who does not like my videos well enough to stick around to the very end, please go down in the comments and tell me what I can do to improve them. I make videos challenging the woke agenda that has been spoon-fed to us for the last several years. I'll also make videos challenging anything else that I find that doesn't make any sense to me. So thanks for watching. Now on to the video.
17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, who shot and killed 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin over the summer, has been released on $2 million bond, which means he's no longer in jail, he's no longer in custody. He drove from Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and proceeded to open fire, shooting 3 people in total. 1 person was injured, 2 people died.
Yeah, that's how it happened. He just drove to Kenosha, Wisconsin and started shooting people. That's really what happened. No, Anna. He actually worked in Kenosha. He is from a border town in Illinois, and he was there trying to help in the efforts of quelling the riots when he was attacked and ended up shooting multiple people to defend himself. I don't know how this is hard to understand. I ran into the same thing on my Facebook. People is going off on me about how Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. He's a murderer. All he is he did this on purpose. And did you look at the video? I showed you the video. Did you actually look at it?
And as a result, he was arrested and is facing multiple serious charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and other charges, but those are the most serious.
Is it just me, or does Anna look like a clown? I mean, her makeup, why is she making herself up to look like a clown? I know that's an ad hominem, but really, she is distorting the issue so much, I feel like we have descended into the realm of fallacies instead of dealing with actual factual arguments here.
Now, the protests that were taking place last summer occurred after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. He was shot in the back, and that video was certainly jarring. It was something that we covered in detail on this show.
Right, I'm sure you covered it honestly too. I'm sure you explained how the police were asking Jacob Blake to stop repeatedly, and that the mother of a child was yelling, "He has my child, he has my child," and then Jacob Blake reached for what looked like a weapon. In fact, he was reaching for what was a weapon. So the police acted in self-defense after issuing multiple orders for him to comply.
The 2 victims who died as a result of this 17-year-old opening fire with an illegal weapon, an AR-15, that he had no business being in possession of.
Well, it's not illegal. It's not an illegal weapon. It was a perfectly legal weapon. And in Illinois, the laws are different. I'm from Illinois. I grew up there. I lived there for decades. So you're actually talking to the wrong person in this case, because I'm just going to tear you apart, Anna.
2 victims are 36-year-old Joseph Rosenbaum and 26-year-old Anthony Huber. And how did he purchase that gun? Well, he admitted to the press that he purchased that AR-15 by using a coronavirus stimulus check, and that a 19-year-old friend of his helped him purchase the gun because, of course, he's too young as a 17-year-old to purchase an AR-15. When he was asked about it, he said, "No, I don't regret it. I would have died that night if I didn't. I feel like I had to protect myself."
Yes. Did you look at the video footage? I know you did. And I know you disagree with it because you people are insane. Like I said, I ran into the same issue on my Facebook page. People telling me that, oh, he was just there to murder people.
Now, again, he drove from Illinois to Wisconsin. So he put himself in what he considers a dangerous situation.
And you act like he drove halfway across the country. He drove from Illinois. Kenosha is like right there. It's like 20 miles maybe when you look at the map. In fact, let's look at the map so you can see how far the 2 cities are from each other. Not very far at all. And he was there initially washing graffiti off of walls. And then he got a call saying, "Hey, there are people burning down my businesses. Will you come help me keep them from burning down my businesses?" And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And since he was going into an area where there were riots, he decided to be armed. That would be a good idea.
He was in possession of an illegal weapon. He was the one who opened fire first.
No, he didn't open fire first. If you look at the video, he did not open fire first. Somebody shot first, and then at the same time, someone was physically attacking him. And then he ran away because they started to attack him some more, and they continued to attack him. And when he got knocked down and they were coming at him with guns and other deadly weapons, he shot the people that were attacking him. Oh my goodness. It sounds like self-defense to me. But then, I'm not a stupid clown face idiot, so what do I know?
And we'll see how this all plays out in court. But the point of this story, the point of this update is that he is free on $2 million bond.
I have a couple of thoughts about this. First and foremost, the circus that's happening today, we can credit the mainstream media for, because they continue to shine a light, give a microphone, and continue to amplify the voices of all the circus, right?
Yeah, you're right. They keep amplifying the voices of Black Lives Matter and Antifa, as if those people actually have a point to make.
People are dying every day. All kinds of things are happening all over the world. And the Washington Post is having a sit down with Kyle, because we want to know what a murderer is thinking. And then we wonder why the world and our country is in disarray, because the media, mainstream media, is constantly adding fuel to the fire. I don't want to hear what he has to say, right? I don't want to hear what he has to say. He's a criminal, a cold-blooded murderer.
He's not a cold-blooded murderer. He killed people in self-defense. I don't understand how this is difficult to understand. He's clearly being attacked, and then he shoots people. There wasn't even a point when he raises his gun right to a man's chest. The man's like 10 feet away from him, and the man he's pointing the gun at raises his hands and stops moving. And Kyle does not shoot him because he's not a cold-blooded murderer.
If he would have been Black, he would have been under the jail. There would be no $2 million bond. And I'm just tired of them trying to normalize the other side's opinion when the other side is evil and wrong. And that's not journalism. That is sensationalism.
Sensationalism, like what you're doing right now.
And continuing to create bigger problems from us. They politicize Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter is admittedly a political organization. They want communism.
To try to justify the wrongdoings of Black people and to continuously, degrade and berate people speaking up for the lives of Black and brown people. And, it just shows that this country doesn't care about white people either. This is all about the elite here, because those people that were murdered, their lives, we don't even talk about them as human beings.
You're right. We should be talking about the assault charges that should be leveled against all of the people who attacked him. And we're not. I mean, he shot people that lived, and no assault charges have been filed against these people. Felony assault charges should have been filed because they were attacking him, trying to kill him.
We just talk about Kyle and how he's become the poster child of one of the talking points of this ridiculous cult that follows Donald Trump.
I didn't vote for Donald Trump either time. Didn't vote for him. So I, however, look at the Kyle Rittenhouse case and see self-defense all over the place. Written all over the place.
Yeah, to your point about the false equivalency between protesters who are, fighting back against a two-tier justice system and all sorts of injustices that we've seen with our very eyes in various videos featuring police shootings.
More white people are killed by the police than Black people every single year in this country. The police are not hunting down Black people like you think they are.
To equate them with right-wing gang members, because that's what they are, is pretty shameful and disgusting.
Yes, it is, because Kyle Rittenhouse is an upstanding citizen who acted in self-defense, whereas Black Lives Matter or Antifa are terrorist organizations.
And these are the same people who enable Donald Trump's denials of the outcome of the general election, people who are essentially enabling him to dismantle our democratic process. To say that Black Lives Matter protesters are basically like the left-wing component of whatever Kyle Rittenhouse is incredibly, incredibly embarrassing and pathetic for any news organization that tries to draw that false equivalency. It's one thing to take a comment or a statement from Kyle Rittenhouse. He's gonna wanna defend what he engaged in.
How do you know that? How do you know what questions are gonna be asked of him when he is interviewed? He might want to do that. You don't know that he wants to do that, and you don't know what questions are going to be asked.
But I do think it's important for these media outlets to be incredibly clear about what he did wrong.
Are the media outlets the legislation? Do they legislate law, or do they just simply ask questions and report the news?
It's not like he was in his front yard
Yeah.
And he was approached by a group of individuals who posed an imminent threat to his life. He drove across state lines with his family, intending to go to this protest armed with a gun that he did not have, was not legally in possession of. He opened fire.
Okay, so everything that you just said before this opening fire part was completely wrong. Yes, he crossed state lines. He did not have the gun until he got into Wisconsin. He did not go across state lines to go to the protest. He was asked to go to the protest after he was across state lines. And then he took a gun with him because he was going into a dangerous situation. And people drive across the border from Illinois. I'm from a border town in Illinois. They drive across the border from Illinois to other states all the time with their firearms. My brother drove halfway across the country and back with 2 guns, legal guns, in his possession, in his vehicle. He even got pulled over by the police, and they even asked him, "Do you have any weapons on you?" And he said, "No, I don't." And they said, "All right, thank you, have a nice day." And he drove all the way back to Illinois. So this is not an uncommon thing. It's not like people just, if you're taking a gun with you somewhere, then that means that you are you're going to use it for nefarious purposes.
And as protesters were chasing him to get a hold of his gun so he didn't hurt anyone else, he opened fire again, injuring one more person and killing another person. So that's what we're dealing with here with Kyle Rittenhouse. And the thing that sucks the most about this is you can't always rely on our justice system to carry out justice, right? So I don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be, but my fear is that if justice is not served, it will continue to embolden what the FBI has referred to as the greatest domestic threat that we're facing right now, and that's right-wing extremists. The FBI has said that in multiple reports, and that's what Kyle Rittenhouse and all of his enablers are.
Absolutely. And wouldn't it have been nice to do a story covering the families of the victims? But it's far more sensational to get his take, because his take is.
Oh yeah, the victims. Yeah, you mean the people who attacked him, the people that were stalking him and attacking him, because Rosenbaum stalked him. He got mad at him. He got mad at the wrong guy, and then he stalked him and then attacked him, and he got shot for it. And I believe he was a pedophile too. I mean, I'm not saying that to be sensational. I'll see if I can find the article and put it up on the screen talking about him being a criminal as it is.
Of value. Yeah, a statement is fine. You have your day in court to make your statement. Such a part of what is happening right now with this administration, what's happening in the country right now. And it's just sickening to hear. And look, nobody's surprised that the white boy got the help. He got the money. He got all of the assistance. We expect that to happen because that's Friday in America. But enough is enough. There are people dying every day of COVID-19, and they could have better served those people by telling their stories and really waking these people up instead of hearing the justification of a minor who took the law into his own hands. Imagine a Black person taking $1,200 stimulus money to buy anything other than what the elite thinks that person should be buying. You see the stories all the time. You're gonna go to jail because you're misappropriating your stimulus funds. But this kid took.
Okay, you're a freaking idiot. Nobody has said that you can't use the stimulus fund to buy a firearm. In fact, I recently purchased a firearm. Did I use my? I mean, I'm still earning a paycheck, so did I use my stimulus fund for that? I mean, you could say that I did because there's no accounting for that. I mean, I just put that money in my bank account. I took the money out of my bank account to buy this firearm. Was it the same money that I put in from the stimulus check? Who's to say? And if you're talking about welfare, you're not supposed to use welfare for these other things. That's different from a stimulus check, you imbecile. And if you're talking about food stamps, you can't even use food stamps to buy anything other than what is sanctioned by welfare, because you get an electronic benefits card, is what it's called. It's called an EBT card, an electronic benefits transfer card, EBT card. And you just go to the store and you slide your EBT card, and anything that is not allowed to be purchased by the EBT card will not charge the EBT card. It's that simple. So yeah, you might get a bunch of stuff covered, but if you buy anything that's not considered covered by welfare, then you're not going to get that covered on that EBT card. You have to pay cash for it, or whatever you have to pay for it. So you're an imbecile. All right, this does not happen. Nobody's saying, hey, look, you can't use your stimulus check to buy a firearm. How dare you?
He bought an illegal arm, and went illegally because he's not old enough. Had somebody buy it for him. How many laws were broken in addition to murder? And here we are having a conversation about what he has to say. That's some foolishness.
No, you make such a good point about how he used stimulus money and like the cojones, right? To just openly say like, yeah, I used my stimulus check and what? I don't regret it. I needed to defend myself. No, you didn't. No one told you to go to Kenosha, Wisconsin. No one told you to do that. You did that.
He bought a gun and killed people. If a black kid would have bought some Jordans with that $1,200 and the media would have got a hold of it, it would have been a big story. He bought a weapon to murder people. And then people don't want to hear about Black Lives Matter. We don't want to hear about y'all. We tired of y'all.
Well, that was just excruciating. But yeah, these people don't know what they're talking about. This is why the Young Turks needs to be canceled. I don't know how it is that they're allowed to say these horrible things about a man who's innocent. He didn't go to Kenosha to do the things that they said he was there for. But it's just another example of how the Young Turks doesn't know what they're talking about. And the lawyer has made statements for Kyle Rittenhouse. There has been plenty of evidence brought forward. It's all self-defense. This is just the Young Turks whining and squealing about how it's unfair that a person can defend themselves if they're white because they're anti-white. They don't want white people in the world. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you next time.